Good morning, cyber traders, and welcome back on this lovely Thursday. Good to see you all, Lita, Michael, everyone. Thank you very much. Good to see you all. All right, welcome back, everybody. So another new adventure here at Cyber Trading this morning. A couple of really nice stocks that are moving. Market's been doing beautiful. Let me tell you, our swing trades are really kicking ass. We're doing really, really nicely. I averaged up on a lot of stocks yesterday. I think I'm like 95% in stock, 5% cash right now. We'll go through them, but we'll get a couple of really, really nice movers. This APVO is up about 78%. Hopefully everybody got it a little bit earlier. You know, we start here around 7:30 this morning. Stock right here, right around 227. You know, it's a cheap, little expensive stock, and there's a couple of other ones out there. We're going to check them out. But and also what we had yesterday. But let's just go through the watch list that we had yesterday because there were some really, really nice moves. Now, just to let you guys know, I ended up buying more TSLL. The stock obviously works off Tesla, and you can see Tesla has just been kicking ass. You know, we were talking about this we were patient all of August watching this stock, and you could see that we need to follow Tesla due to the movement of the other ETFs out there. And you could see we finally broke out of that little Fausto flag, making higher highs, and the stock's been on fire. And you know, a lot of the news, and I'll repeat it again, if you've been watching some of the shorts that I made on social media, you know, I think a lot had to do with that $1 trillion deal that Elon Musk has. You know, now let me just tell you a little bit of a little rumor that's going around. Okay, and I don't know if you guys have been doing your homework on this, but Tesla. You know, we just can't look at Tesla on the car. I mean, you got the robots coming out, everything else. But rumor has it that Elon Musk might be replacing all the internet and the phones and everything, your cell phones. You know, he's got all these satellites around the world, right? You know about that, right, everyone? And he could with a snap of a finger, he could kind of replace that. Everyone can get the cheapest and fastest internet connection and cell phone service. So all these cell phone towers, everything else. And if he comes out with his own phone, and he's kind of holding back on that a little bit. Yeah, you got Starlink out there, and you could basically don't have to worry about cell phone towers. You don't have to worry about paying Verizon for internet speed in your house anymore. So there's this little rumor of that's going on a little bit, and you'll get better service, and you have to worry about going down and paying all these high fees. So there's that little rumor going around. I don't know if that's what's making the stock run, but that's what I'm hearing. You know what I mean? So there's a lot that he's working on. Believe me, he has an opportunity, to make a lot of money on this deal. I don't think he wants to lose it. But with that said, there's a lot of good deals out there. So I want to touch upon the TSLYY. I did my research this morning on this company regarding about the options on it. This does weekly. I did buy more TSYY and TSLY, and the dividends are just absolutely unbelievable, over 100 to 130%. They came down a lot. TSLY, you could see on a long-term chart since March, is now finally popping, but is doing well. Even though if you lost money on it, you're still doing great on the dividend. The TSYY, you could see here, it is very new. All right, when it came out, and it was up around 25. The stock obviously at a really big low, but the dividend is paying almost 140% on that. So you definitely, did really well on the dividend on that one. I think the stock really bottomed out over here for a long time. A little bit more riskier on the dividend. On the volatility on the stock. But, I think as long as the stock is trading here, I think you're probably good safe. So I bought more of those two stocks out there. So a lot of these high yields, I know a lot of us here have been watching it. And let me show you on my phone. I'm going to log into my Schwab account. Well, anyway, my positions here on this account, I bought TSLL. I bought more at 1385, and I bought the PLL. We'll talk about that in a few moments. But let me just bring up to my account. I'm just going to log in here. You can see if you're watching on social media. Let me bring it up here. All right. So you could see right here on my online account right here, if you're watching social media. So I averaged up on TSLY, I averaged up on NVDY. I bought more TSLL, and I bought more of the TSYY. So I tell you, great dividend. Paid me a fortune last month. And I know that's what we've been doing pretty well on it. So anyway, those stocks are obviously doing well. I'm throwing Tesla back on the watch list again. It's just been doing great. And I might buy more today. Tesla. I might buy more today. All right. We're going to see how the stock is trading, but it's been just doing great. Yeah, we're going to talk about that too, April, on the Intel trade. So Intel also is huge, running up pretty well. But let me I always like to start off and talk about what happened yesterday. QBTS. Quantum stocks are that stock just obviously is just doing unbelievable. Last year, these quantum stocks were about $1. It's up about 22%. That is up almost 2,000% on that stock. That has been doing great. It was up a little bit this morning, but what a great run yesterday. I'm going to put this on the B list, QBTS. All right. So that one did pretty well. And we had the Rigetti, RGTI. That one also just kicking ass, doing great. That has been not only a good day trade, it's turned into a really good swing trade. It was just the beginning of September on $15, already at 22. So Rigetti is going back on the watch list. And remember, we also trade swing and options on these. I know some of you here in the Cyber Group room, you always bringing up some of the options plays. And I know people here on social media don't see that, but you got to be a good stock trader if you want to be a good option trader. You got to be a good day trader if you want to be a good swing trader, So that's how things work out there. And just a couple of more, the AMPX. That was another nice stock that's also been doing phenomenal. Great push there on that one too. I'm going to put that one back on the watch list. And one of you did bring up the what was the other one that you guys brought up that did pretty well? Where is it? Oh, the OKLO. That one too has been a phenomenal swing trade. OKLO. So the nuclear stocks has just been unbelievable too. We saw the stock back in April on 22.96. Big fan of nuclear stocks. The SMR didn't do that well. That one's kind of flat. It looks like the other one is the powerhouse that's doing great. So, and we're going to bring that up over here and just show you again. And that one is going to go back on our list, the OKLO. And listen, I also did a video on that one too when the nuclear stocks were moving. Baba and CrowdStrike for you, Brian, you did pretty well on those. Well, Baba was a little bit more on the expensive side. Baba has been a great swing trade, 120 to 162, and also the CrowdStrike for you, CRWD. Let me tell you a little story about CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike was a lot of fun. Remember, it was here 400, and they had this whole big catastrophe because CrowdStrike is one of the biggest securities, one of the top biggest security systems for computers, and they went all the way down to 200. What a great bounce on that. That was just a great opportunity. Remember, it totally screw up all the airlines with their traffic control, all the things that they did, like the whole computer system. And anyway, that was a great, great bounce, great long-term trade. Stock did phenomenal. Pretty volatile too. All right. So anyway, regarding about what's going on today, I know everyone's looking at Intel. By the way, Intel does have an ETF, INTW, but Intel had some really good news that came out in the morning. And, if you listen, they were talking about on CNBC. And listen, I don't know if you guys do your homework, but when you wake up in the morning, you should have the financial stations on. Okay. If it's Fox Business, problem with Fox Business is it's still a political station as Fox News. But if you strictly want to deal on the financials, I personally I go back and forth. When it talks political, I get off because I get ready in the morning. So I'll listen to Fox Business. I like the analysts on there a little bit better because they just get right to the point. CNBC just, they get some of these people, they just go on a rant, and unless they're going to talk about something that came out with news, then it's obvious. You got to go back and forth. Bloomberg also is pretty good too. I just feel, Sharon, when I watch Bloomberg, I feel like the people on that show is like CNBC. They're just very, very monotone. And it's just like, it's like 10-10 wins. You know what I mean? So anyway, let's go through the watch list. We got Intel on this watch list too, INTC. That one's doing pretty well too. This one's a buyout, ENB. So scratch that. The APVO right here, you can see we got a ladder effect that's going on, 290, 280, 270. So it's got to break through these resistance levels. Remember, this is all pre-market. This is going to multiply by 10 times sometimes when the market opens up. So program trading to kick in. But this one, keep this in on the list. We could see orders already out there. That one's going to be a fun stock to trade. This one's kind of flat. At Lace, this is a good one. I got this on the watch list too. We had a big order out here that I saw that got filled. You see this order right there? That's a pretty big order right there. That was around 365. So I got that one on there. This one's going to join us on our list. The Lace, LASE. Good day trading stock right there. We got Intel on the list already. Intel's going to be a little crazy, so be very careful of it right now. It made a really, really big run. I mean, let me just bring this up really quick here and show you on the long-term list. That is, that broke through a major resistance levels back here last year in May. Now we're hovering right around here. So it's going to probably hover around these highs right here. So just be very careful. The stock is pretty volatile. That stock was a great trade. Once you heard that, the government, United States government, bought 10% of the company, I think that was a good investment for them. So instead of getting, it's pretty funny when you really think about it. They lend all these companies money, right? They bailed them out. And it's funny that it's pretty savvy. You know what I mean? We always, and I know a lot of people are not a fan of bailing out like the airlines and this and that. But why would they bail them out? Obviously to save them, because, obviously, with jobs and a catastrophe. But what better way to our government to bail them out and then say, hey, we don't need your money. Don't pay us back. We just want a piece of your company. Okay. Which leads me to something really interesting. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later, what I liked about it. By the way, the lace is starting to pop. I'm going to talk about that later, which was pretty good because remember the financial crisis and we bailed them out and they screwed us over. Could you imagine they said, yeah, well, you could bail us out, but we're going to own a piece of your company. And let me tell you, that would probably if they did that, we would probably have zero debt right now if we owned what they did. And I'm going to do a video on that. I'm going to tell you how the banks outsmarted the White House back during the financial crisis. It was a big smack in the face, Anyway, as losers go, I don't see anything else there. I mean, you had this Wheeler stock. This one, we watched it. We traded before, but this one's getting crushed again. Sometimes they don't come back, guys. They don't come back. We have the Novix that's moving up pretty well. I'm going to throw that in the watch list. New York Stock Exchange, NVOX. Did I put on the watch list? Yeah, I did over here. The issue with this is we got a lot of algorithms going on. You see it right there. So it's going to probably be a little difficult to trade. ATCH, we're going to put this on a watch list. ATCH. This one's a pretty good. Nice little push right here. Nice little trend. Did a good move yesterday. It's going back on our watch list. New York Stock Exchange. IHT. Don't know what that is. Looks like garbage. Too expensive. Now we're down to 8%. One last thing I want to bring up too before we go. I want to bring up the StubHub. So StubHub went public yesterday. I was interested in getting into it. Like I said, I talked about it during our cyber group room. I'm a fan of StubHub. I do a lot. I sell all my tickets on StubHub. Bought a lot of tickets. They finally rated 800 million. I know it opened up right around $24. But when a stock breaks the IPO original price, that's not a good sign. We've seen that would happen with a lot of other stocks that we traded with the IPO. We saw that happen with Webull. Remember Webull and we saw Webull. We saw Newsmax. I'm interested, okay, but just not yet. Let it build some support levels, and then maybe that will be a bottom because eventually they will come back. They will bounce eventually. We got to find where the bottom is. So we're going to keep that on the watch list. All right, guys. Anything I'm missing? I did not call up. Wheeler has a 5-to-1 reverse stock split on September 22nd. So another stock split. Do you think? Look at the stock right here. How many stock splits did they do? The stock was never 25,000. They just keep doing stock splits after stock split to stock splits. Not a very good sign when they do stock splits like that, Carlos. Unexpected swing trade and FCell had doubled in the last 2 weeks. Yeah, that was another one that we had on our list right there, Michael. That one has just been doing great too in the last couple of days. You could see it right there. Let me bring this up right here. Unbelievable, $4 stock has been FCell doing great. Just be careful. We're testing these big resistance levels right here. So I would just actually sell. And if it breaks it, buy it back. But that's a pretty big run, a double in less than a week. All right, let's get ready for the market open up. It seemed like I'm on a little rant right here. Listen, today we got open house. If you're watching on social media, we will be back live at 12 o'clock. We'll see you there. Open house. We're going to teach you how we trade the market. And once again, if you do want to get registered for it on social media, here's the QR code right on the homepage. Take your phone, scan that QR code I just posted up, or you can go to www.ctu.co/free. All right, everyone, we'll be back in 15 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Go fill up your coffee. I built myself a nice little treat today, nice little espresso. I treated myself for a little cappuccino. It's my birthday, so I figure. Thank you very much, Lynn and Randy. Thanks for remembering. 54 today, so hopefully I'm gonna hopefully I have a good day trading, and I'm gonna go out and enjoy the rest of the day. All right, thanks again, everybody. We'll be back in about 15 minutes.